My friends, hope you're well. Thanks for being here as usual. Today, a topic that some people hate, but we're going to talk about it. And that's the nature of identity, which is a big deal in terms of how you see yourself in the everyday world, because your image of yourself creates your reality all around you. What you think and feel is projected out into your external surroundings. So we have to start to think of ourselves as something beyond identity. The reason this is tough for people is because we grow up in an environment historically, right, where we become the sum result of our historical experiences. Everybody you know, including yourself, including me, we're all some result, some average of everything we've been through, right? So you think about all of these opinions that you've created, your identity, down to simple stuff, what you like to wear, who you associate with, all these things. It's all part of your identity. And that's such a human-based thing. When we start to think about the greater context of who we are as souls, we're divine, timeless, infinite beings, boundless in all ways, capable of creating any reality that we want in this existence. We were endowed as microcosms of Source with the creative capability of Source itself just on this plane. That was deep and huge, but it's the truth, right? It's amazing. Essentially, we can create any reality we want here, and we have the power to do that. But what we've done is we've created an identity for ourselves through history, and that identity is confining. It's a definition of who we are. And essentially what we do is our self-image of what we can achieve is defined and capped or limited by the identity we have for ourselves. So it's like me back in my old corporate days working in the corporate world. I identified with that person. I had gone to college and gotten a job in banking and worked in banking for 10 years. And that is who I was and who I knew myself as. I had this deeper desire to really get out and start my own company and be an entrepreneur. I wanted to work for myself. This was my deepest desire, my deepest goal. But I didn't identify as that. I doubted myself. So my self-image was just tied to this historical experience that I'd have. And all my confidence, and this may be the same for you, all my confidence was only based on things I had experience in, right? Which seems to make sense at a human level. But it's really detached from our soul state because we're universal beings. So this is where the blend of the practical world and the spiritual world come together in this beautiful way. And what I learned through my own experience is that if you can combine both of those, your spirit state and your human state, to really form the image of yourself, then you have boundless capability in what you create here as the creator, like we talked about. So what I had to start doing when I wanted to move from this corporate world to this world of entrepreneurship is simply first start believing that I could do it. And the way I did that, the way I tricked myself, it's not really tricking myself, but the way I just identified with the possibility of being able to execute that was I started getting closer to my soul state. And I started doing spiritual work. So I got into a bunch of spiritual philosophies, Hinduism and Buddhism. And the amazing part, and why it was so additive, was I started to identify more with my infinite, timeless soul state. And the belief that I could create any possibility for myself here, that the universe is inherent within me. And all answers are within me. So if I decide as the creator in this existence to pursue that path of entrepreneurship, and I do it with inspired action, diligently, and I believe and envision myself as that person, I can do it. And that's what I was able to do. So the sum of all that is we have to start changing our self-image to believe that we're much more than we are. And we can't really cap ourselves in the identity. And a lot of people get hung up on their identity and they want to say, this is who I am. Your success within your own self and is caught up in your identity and who you are. And it's natural to feel that way, but we have to start identifying with the full capability of who we are as infinite, boundless, timeless beings. And we have to move into that state. So as I identified more with that, I was able to get out and say, I can accomplish anything that I want to create. And my higher self has all the answers and has the capability to do this. And I'm going to identify with that. So when my old ego mind tried to revert back and say, you've never done this before, you've never done this entrepreneurship thing, it's risky, you could lose all your money, you could fail. I identified more with my infinite soul state, and I focused on that. And I was able to execute and create a life that I love, that I'm fully in control of, that was my deepest passion, all by alignment to my higher self, that boundless part of all of us that can do and create anything. So we've got to work on moving our self-image out of this identification in the human state that's bounded to our infinite soul state capacity. What a beautiful gift that we're given to be able to do this. I wish you the best of luck in moving to that place. I'll talk to you soon.